The religion and science community consists of those scholars who involve themselves with what has been called the religion and science dialogue or the religion and science field. The community belongs to neither the scientific nor the religious community, but is said to be a third overlapping community of interested and involved scientists, priests, clergymen, theologians, and engaged non-professionals. Institutions interested in the intersection between science and religion include the Center for Theology and the Natural Sciences, the Institute on Religion in an Age of Science, the Ian Ramsey Centre, and the Faraday Institute. Journals addressing the relationship between science and religion include Theology and Science and Zygon, Journal of Religion and Science. Eugenie Scott has written that the science and religion movement is, overall, composed mainly of theists who have a healthy respect for science and may be beneficial to the public understanding of science. She contends that the Christian scholarship movement is not a problem for science, but that the theistic science movement, which proposes abandoning methodological materialism, does cause problems in understanding of the nature of science. The modern dialogue between religion and science is rooted in Ian Barber's 1966 book Issues in Science and Religion. Since that time it has grown into a serious academic field, with academic chairs in the subject area, and 2 dedicated academic journals, Zygon, Journal of Religion and Science and Theology and Science. Articles are also sometimes found in mainstream science journals such as American Journal of Physics and Science. Philosopher Alvin Plantinga has argued that there is superficial conflict but deep concord between science and religion, and that there is deep conflict between science and naturalism. Plantinga, in his book Where the Conflict Really Lies, Science, Religion, and Naturalism, heavily contests the linkage of naturalism with science, as conceived by Richard Dawkins, Daniel Dennett, and like-minded thinkers, while Daniel Dennett thinks that Plantinga stretches science to an unacceptable extent. Philosopher Martin Baudry, in reviewing the book, has commented that he resorts to creationism and fails to stave off the conflict between theism and evolution. Cognitive scientist Justin L. Barrett, by contrast, reviews the same book and writes that those most needing to hear Plantinga's message may fail to give it a fair hearing for rhetorical rather than analytical reasons. Cooperative. As a general view, this holds that while interactions are complex between influences of science, theology, politics, social, and economic concerns, the productive engagements between science and religion throughout history should be duly stressed as the norm. Scientific and theological perspectives often coexist peacefully. Christians and some non-Christian religions have historically integrated well with scientific ideas, as in the ancient Egyptian technological mastery applied to monotheistic ends, the flourishing of logic and mathematics under Hinduism and Buddhism, and the scientific advances made by Muslim scholars during the Ottoman Empire. Even many 19th-century Christian communities welcomed scientists who claimed that science was not at all concerned with discovering the ultimate nature of reality. According to Lawrence M. Principe, the Johns Hopkins University Drew Professor of the Humanities, from a historical perspective this points out that much of the current-day clashes occur between limited extremists, both religious and scientistic fundamentalists, over a very few topics, and that the movement of ideas back and forth between scientific and theological thought has been more usual. To Principe, this perspective would point to the fundamentally common respect for written learning in religious traditions of rabbinical literature, Christian theology, and the Islamic Golden Age, including a transmission of the classics from Greek to Islamic to Christian traditions which helped spark the Renaissance. Religions have also given key participation in development of modern universities and libraries. Centers of learning and scholarship were coincident with religious institutions, whether pagan, Muslim, or Christian.